Hey, everybody.
Hello
I just
there.
I just want to say one thing real quick. We have the best intro. That comic flipping is just such a nice intro. Really, I think Dave made it. I wasn't sure if it was Dave or Jeff, but whoever made it, kudos, guys. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
Um, we are the Jedi Archives, as the name says, as the book says, as the flipping pages says. We go over our comic books, Star Wars, pretty much. I think we only done Star Wars, but trying to stick Harry Potter. We also do new stuff. But things that interest us, Star Wars comics that interest us. My name's John,
And I'm Mike.
and Bryce is sick again, but Bryce does normally join us. So we miss you, Bryce, and we love you. Today, he missed a good one, though. I want to say real quick, out of all the High Republic issues, this is probably one of my all-time single favorites. This was a really, really good one. Talking right now, I'm getting goosebumps. And it's I will have to get into it, but I'm sure Mike loved it too for other reasons
Oh yeah.
too. Mike
Oh,
even loved it even more. But
I
it was a
did.
really good one. All right,
I
let's
agree, John. This was an
yeah,
excellent issue of the High Republic. Super
yes,
happy
it
with it. And
was.
you know what's really nice is that it's it's so good and it's actually in phase three. So usually, you think phase one has the best. Maybe it might show up in phase two, but this is phase three. And this is my favorite of all the phases. So that says a lot because we've gone through a bunch of comics.
Well, you're saying you just said something maybe controversial. You said phase three is better than phase one.
No, no, no. This issue of phase three
Oh, okay.
is better than any of the
Phase
other
one was really
issues in the
good.
other
Yeah.
phases.
So
Right,
yeah,
right. But what I'm
yeah,
saying is that usually you expect like they're gonna throw out all the best stuff and then the ideas kind of peter out towards the end. But
yeah.
this one was an excellent, excellent comic. It's fresh. It's excellent story. I mean, the pacing is great. Well, you'll see. You'll see. So, per usual, we're going to start out with our one of our favorite pages, the League of Comic Book Geeks, which is free for everyone to join. And if you do join, friend me. I would love to be friends with you on League of Comic Book Geeks. And this is the Star Wars issue, the High Republic number 5, volume 3, of course, because it is phase 3. And it's called
Oh
an
man,
exciting.
you can see it. All right, because I can't see. I
I
think
can
we're
see it. I can
covering
see
it.
it. So
Okay.
it's an exciting new arc begins. Lightsabers clash as Keeve Trennis finally finds out what she's been searching for in the Nihil occlusion zone. What is the secret of the ancient ruin? And can Keeve trust Lorna D when she needs her the most? The Jedi's deepest fears manifest as a face from the past makes a shocking appearance.
I mean,
So
even Lorna D was great in this one.
she
This
really
is
is. You
top.
know what? And she's a more well-rounded. I can't even call her a villain anymore. She's just a more well-rounded character.
You know what though? Not only her too. The twins became more rounded. We just
Surratt and
two
Surratt,
episodes
yes.
we finally saw some human emotions out of them, and then this one really rounds them out. This issue is just top notch. I have to
Yeah, it
say.
is.
Yeah.
So we've got the characters, well, the writers. So cover artist Phil Noto. The artwork is spectacular. We've got production Carlos Lau and CB Sabolsky. Here are the creators. The writer Kevin Scott. Kevin Scott. My friend Kevin Scott, of course, who follows me on Instagram. He's amazing. I love him.
He,
Uh, here are
he
the
insta
characters.
stalks you.
Yes. So Surratt and Tarek, Keith Trennis, Lorna D, Skier, Chiff Chaff, Gunral Monchi, Hatar, which there's no picture, I need to add that, Orba Lin, Tarek, Taserek, and Avar Chris. Let's look at the covers. So this is the main cover of the High Republic number 5. Okay, and of course we
very
have
very Star Trek or Godzilla. Very it's like looking into the eye of the monster.
because this of course has to be Skier,
Yeah,
right? And that's his former Padawan, Keith Trennis, reflected in
the,
his
the
eye.
future Sith Lord.
Well,
No, she's
the
never a Sith Lord.
first
She gets
the
lost.
first of the 20
She's
who leaves the
lost
Jedi
Jedi.
Order because
Yeah.
Ahsoka also left the Order too. So uh, here's one of the variants. This does look very Godzilla-ish to me.
Yeah, very monstrous.
I like it, and I think there's only 3 covers. And
See,
speaking of Ahsoka,
I have that one. That was is because it's Women's Month, right? What does that
Oh
say? I
yes,
can't read it.
Women's History Month variant.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that's the variant I did get. Yeah.
You know what? It is beautiful.
It is a
I
nice
do
one.
love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, the colors are great. So, which was your favorite, John? Women's History,
Mm,
Women's Month.
I mean, that's good. I like that a lot, and I guess it's my favorite. But usually, when I like to say like a favorite, I kind of want to have to do with the issue. So that monstrous one is pretty much how he was in the episode. Like the next one, he was
This one.
just mindless monster. So that was pretty horrific. So yeah, I do like that.
Yeah.
That would
I
have been better if it was virgin. You take away the top, not go
yes.
back to the
Oh,
monster
this
one.
one.
Yeah, take all black up top that and take away the barcode. That would have been nice and clean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My favorite is the original. I like this one.
it's good too. Yeah, it's Eye of the Beholder, all that.
I
It's
like the
yeah,
texture. Nice.
yeah.
All right. So now let's get into the issue. So the crawl starts out. Can I share this one? Let's see. Let me share this one.
Are you sharing something else? Okay.
Yes. It's the
Right
crawl.
at stage.
So here's the crawl. It says the High Republic, Children of the Storm, Chapter 5, Monster and Apprentice. Ignoring orders to return to Coruscant, Jedi Master Keith Trennis and the crew of the Ataraxia have entered the Nile Occlusion Zone to search for Keith's former Jedi Master, Skier. On the planet Kindasorn, they encounter fellow survivors of Starlight Beacon, the gelatinous archivist Orbelin, and Gunral Monshi, the Latero, critically injured after the violent encounter with Skier, who appears to have lost his mind. And just so you know, the Latero are the same as in Jedi Fallen Order, the pilot. So it's pretty cool. Shrek and Surret accompany Orbelin and Monshi back to the Ataraxia shuttle, only to find that the craft has been wrecked by a mysterious Jedi hunter. Meanwhile, Kievan Jedi's reluctant ally Lorna D tracks Skier to an ancient ruin at the heart of the Kindasorian jungle. But the Trandoshan isn't exactly the Jedi they once knew. Dun, dun, dun. So, stop sharing. So, John, getting into this issue. Well, should we just go like, what do you want to talk about at this issue?
Let's
Go in
just go
order?
through this. We'll go in order because this was top to bottom. It was great issue all
It
together.
was good. All right.
Yeah.
So let me pull that back up then.
No,
So it starts out. Yeah.
Yeah, I just something we forgot to talk about before. We can talk about it next time, but the Jedi Vector. Oh God, we wish we would have talked about that, but we'll talk about that later. And
Oh yes,
I know. I felt
the acolyte.
I know. Just
I
thought about it
saw
right
that
now.
too. Sorry.
I was like, oh, it's what a cool thing, and nobody knows what that is but us. And like,
No, when I saw that at the theater, I was like, that's a vector.
yeah.
And
Oh
then my
man.
friends like, friend of yours, because they all know that's a Jedi vector.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All
sorry
right.
guys. That has nothing to do.
We're doing a lot of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. So this issue opens up with, you know what? Let me share my screen again because at least I can show those parts.
She's there. They're in front of Skier, right? From what I remember, like they're already there, and it's like, what do we do? Do we run? And Keith's there for Skier. She's not there to run from him. She's like, well, I'm here to save him. So right off the back, he's I think he's like already monster. I think there's even like disaster behind him. Like, what's going on? Like, he's gonna come and attack them right now.
Right. So actually, if I can share screen again, then I can show so you can see him because it's a pretty awesome panel. I mean,
that's better.
That Skier coming towards them.
There's fire behind him. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And he's got her lightsaber. I mean, look at all the detail in that lightsaber. Look at him. His arm is grown back. He's drooling at the mouth. He's overtaken by the disease that he has as a. Remember, he was suffering from that disease.
It's a different disease now. Before he was infected by Drangir.
But it's not that.
It's not that. Now he's infected. It's something that what it does is it strips the force away from you, but also in doing so, it makes you lose your mind. I guess maybe
it's a Trandoshan madness, right? Like a Trandoshan madness disease.
I don't know. I think it is, but I think when the force is stripped away from you, I think it makes you go mad. I don't think it makes you go mad and makes you lose the Force. I think it's chicken and the egg thing. I think the
Well,
Force is being stripped.
to me it seems like when dogs get rabies, because look, his mouth
Yeah,
is
I guess they don't
foaming.
really explain what's happening first. If he's going crazy first, or if he's losing the Force first, or what's causing. But it is, I think, chicken and the egg thing type thing. Either
No, but
way, he's
he
losing
mentioned
his
it,
connection. Yeah, he's going mad.
but
He's
he
losing
told
connection to
Keith,
the
remember?
Force.
He told
Yeah,
Keith that he knew that. Even on Starlight Beacon, he knew it. And so he knew that this was coming, and so he needed to get away for everybody's safety.
but he knew he was losing his connection to the Force too. That's why he was able to fight the Nameless. So it's kind of
Right.
all like it's.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what's. There hasn't been other. There's not medical records on this for us,
No.
so we're kind of just going off what the comics saying.
Yeah. So then we see Keith and Lorna D, because they're so that they've split up to tell two different stories, right? With the in typical Star Wars fashion with the swipes. So this swipe we're following Lorna D and Keith, who are on Master Skier's trail. So then she's like Master, and she sees him, and she's remembering with this flashback. Look at how young she is, right?
Yeah,
And then we first met her when she was first became a Jedi.
I think it's issue 1, phase 1. She became a Jedi Master that episode, that first issue. Yeah, but whose lightsaber does he have? Does she have?
He has hers. He has her lightsaber.
Whose does she have?
It's two parts of the same lightsaber. Remember?
Oh, it's a double blade.
She has like a staff. She has like.
Remember, he has that really cool, almost like pirate one. It's got the brass knuckles.
Right?
Yeah,
right. His looks like a pirate one, right?
Yeah.
But this is not his lightsaber. This is the other half of hers.
They
connect. So it's kind of like a Maul saber, but it's hers.
Yeah.
And then we slash back to where Orbelin and the others are by the ship.
Tesseract, yeah.
No, not Tesseract. It's
they're there with her. They're there. They're there. Tayan. Not Tesseract. Not yet.
Not yet. So that's why I'm like, not Tesseract.
But
it's Orbelin and Monchi, right?
Yeah.
Tourette and Sarek. That's what you meant. Tourette and Sarek and Flim Flam or whatever.
Wait, you have Tace, you have Tourette and Turek, and Turek, and then you have Tesseract.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I know. Here's Monchi. But then we realize that they're being attacked by the Nameless are nearby, right? Because they're starting to hallucinate. And then Monchi is like, "Oh no, I've got to get up." We're like, "No, you got to stay in your hammock. You're sick."
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way. We've got to fight the Nameless. So the little creature gets scared and he scampers away because he also can sense the danger through the Force.
Yeah.
So this little creature is kind of like Force sensitive too. And then Tourette and Turek start to like fight. Right? They have like a quarrel.
He's like, go. Just Force throws him. I was like, that's a little harsh, man. I was trying to, I had to look at that several times. I'm like, what is happening there? Did he hit it? Did he force? I was like, no, yeah, he just forced through the lizard away or whatever it was. Like, wow, it's really hard.
He pushed them. Pushed them, and you can see that he's like shocked. Like, what?
He's like, get that out of here. I was like, oh wow, okay.
He's like, what did we just do? Look at Turek. Yeah. Well, the good thing is now we can tell who Turek is because he's got like this.
He's got the little. Head. Well, now they're becoming a little bit more individual characters. So yeah, so it's his. Right. They're moving along.
We can visually tell them apart too by that.
Yeah,
he's like got that half lobot head. So yeah, he Force pushes him, and look at his face, how evil he looks.
Yeah,
it's a red, like he's.
Yeah.
So Force pushes him, and so then he tells me, you didn't need to do that. That was unnecessary. And he leaves them to go chase after this poor little Flim Flam. He's like, we need to protect them.
Yeah.
Right. And so then he takes off. Right. Goes into the jungle. He starts slashing. And then he's like, oh, no, I need my brother. The Force is gone, but it's just the Nameless overpowering them with the hallucinations.
Yeah. And I actually thought right here that the Drengir actually got me. I was like, oh, my God, the Drengir are back. Finally, I really liked the Drengir. I liked them. I thought they were dispatched a little too easily. They were big bads in the first half of phase 1. I mean, big bad. Jedi couldn't defeat them. And then they kind of got pushed away. So, but I thought they came back. I think they still do exist. I think they're on some planets.
They do.
But
They do still
not
exist.
nearly as the threat they were. But I thought we got him back.
Well, because they killed the leader.
That
Remember,
progenitor,
it's like
right?
a queen bee.
Yeah.
They got rid of the queen bee, so they're kind of like just meandering about. There's no
Yeah.
control. So it's kind of like the Borg without the queen.
Yeah.
So if they don't have the queen, they're just kind of like dormant. They can't really do anything. So I think they need to get a new queen.
Yeah.
Or the progenitor, right? It's the progenitor.
Yeah.
The great progenitor. So then we flash back to we swipe back over to Skier, who's now fighting Lorna and Keeve. And she's like, wait a minute, don't you remember me? She's trying to like jog his memory, and she knows that he's holding her saber. And
she threw a rock at him right there. I didn't catch that before.
Lorna did. Lorna had, as she's talking to him, like, no, don't you remember me? And he's strangling her, right? So as he's distracted strangling Keeve, Lorna comes up from behind and whacks her on the head.
Yeah.
Whacks Skier on the head, and he like passes out. She's like, what did you do that for? He's like, oh no, you're welcome. I just saved your life.
This next panel I love right here. What did you say? Go up a little bit. He says she's up a little bit. He doesn't know what he's doing. She goes, are you sure about that? Right when he grabs her.
Oh, yeah. You sure doesn't like he knows what he's doing.
That. I just love that. It's like, oh, there's not unconscious. You should.
And look at the artwork here. The artwork is just like fantastic. It's so clean. I love it.
Yeah.
And all the detail.
It's a very imposing figure. I mean, it is a monstrous. It's Godzilla with the lightsaber. I mean, it's a great way to look at a character, and I love it right now. So I really love this character right now.
And then she goes back to like try to flashback them to remember who they were, what they've been through. Right?
Is she connecting in his mind right here, trying to do what we were talking about before, doing like a force projection in his brain? Is that what she's trying to do here?
I think so, but she says, look at the weapon you're holding. I've got the other piece here. And she reaches for her own other half of the sabers because they connect, and it's gone because Lorna took it because she didn't let her have a weapon. And then she's like, you're not going to use this? I'm going to use it because he's a danger to us all. And
she's used lightsabers before too, so yeah, she has some skill with them.
Well, she can use weapons. She's excellent at fighting.
Yeah.
And then it swipes back. She strikes him on the back, which of course is non-fatal because that even happened to Finn and he survived. But he's got the Trandoshan skin, so it's going to protect him.
Yeah.
Like armor. Then it swipes back to Tarek and Surret and Monshi and our Berlin, our friends that are over by the ship. Oh shoot. What happened? It skipped.
You skipped a lot.
Too much.
Yeah. Oh, all the good stuff. There you go. There you go. Down. It's too far.
I know. There. So here. They goes back and they're like, where did he go? He took off. And he's all by himself, right? He's looking for his little friend, but then he's looking for his real friends, Oberlin and Gunral. He feels like he's alone. So he starts to get all these head games, right? That he feels like they've abandoned him and he feels that he really is alone, and he's seeing all these scary things, which are all of the hallucinations from the Nameless that causes to the Jedi.
Because there's a Nameless wandering around this temple, so it attacks your fears. So it brings out your fears.
Whatever you fear the most, right?
But this is where it gets really good. This is where what is fear, and so this is where they overcome it right here, and he has to get help from someone. And he keeps skipping ahead on accident. See who helps him.
I don't know why he keeps skipping.
It's really interesting because it's just like a shadowy figure that kind of scroll down a little bit.
Here.
Right there. I'm just like, what is this? Yeah. And then there's even like back and forth between the I don't want to say it's a Drengir, but like the fear. Don't listen to him. He's nothing. An irritant, a fool. I'm like, so they're having almost like this dialogue in his head.
Why? But the shadowy figure is telling him, don't listen to them. They're just illusions, right? And you don't know if that guy's evil. That character.
He says that, but then another bubble says that back to him. So they're almost like
Right, but the bubble that's the voice in his head is
Yeah,
like the wobbly one. There's no speech bubble. It's not pointing to anyone.
yeah,
So the one that has a speech bubble, that's the character speaking to him,
yeah,
and then it's being counteracted by his own fears.
yeah,
And it says, "Don't listen to him. He's nothing but a fool." But he can hear it too because
yeah.
he says, "How rude! I've been called worse." Right? And then, "Who are you people?" He was like, "What? Who are all these strange people?" And then we see him smile, and he
That
tells
was a
him,
little creepy right there. I was like, "Oh, that's creepy right
"It's
there."
creepy." But then he starts to tell him, deny your hold, you're a Jedi, aren't you? Brave and courageous. And for a Jedi, and then he says, there is no fear. So he starts going back to his training to calm himself. He's like, that's the ticket. No fear, no passion, no chaos or death. Only the force. And he's able to shatter all those fantasies away. So he
I mean,
breaks free of yeah.
that's how you're gonna get past the nameless is not to have fear, and fear is
Right.
in your head. It's something you just gotta get past, and he
What
does
does
it there.
Yoda say? Fear leads to anger, anger leads to
Yeah.
hate leads to suffering.
So
So yeah.
this is how I think they're gonna get past the nameless, because nameless has been pretty dominant over the Jedi. I mean, you
With
just get
no
near them.
solution. No
Yeah.
solution.
So you just have to get past your fear. You have to overcome it. You have to get rid of it. And so I
But
think
you
that's
know what I
super
think too,
important.
John? You know what I think too? The nameless are not inherently evil. They just feed on the force. So it's
Yeah.
just like an animal. Like lions are not evil, sharks are
Yeah.
not evil. They just hunt. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So I think the nameless are also not evil. It's just an apex predator, and it happens to feed on the force. And Jedi just so happen to have the force, so they're affected. But there are other things that have the force, like other plants. There because
Yeah.
there's those force sensitive trees, so they can just feed off of the force. And I'm thinking like in True Blood. True Blood, they need to have blood, right? But then they develop synthetic blood, so vampires no longer have to feed on humans, which is kind of cool. So there is a solution that's amicable. That's a possibility. So then he resolves his fears, and once he is able to escape from that fear that was paralyzing him, he sees little Flim Flam or Chim Cham or what's his brother's name?
I don't know if
It's a
we
little
got a
his
name
little
for
friend.
this one. It's not
He did
Chim
get a
Cham.
name.
Chim Cham was like a bat. I know
That's
it's not
right.
Chim Cham.
Oh, it's Chiff
I don't
Chaff. Chiff Chaff.
Chiff. Oh my God, Chim Cham,
Chiff
Chiff
Chaff.
Chap.
It's Chiff Chaff.
Come
Yeah,
on,
because
guys.
Chiff Chaff.
Just
So he
giving
carries
up
Chiff
on
Chaff like,
names now.
and he tells him, "There you are. You've been there all along." He's like, "The Drengir were never here, because he suffered from the Drengir before, so he knows. They were just part of his fears." And
I think
then,
when he's doing this, his sibling is doing the same thing, right? Their siblings
right,
doing the same thing, yeah.
because they're one mind. They share one mind.
So it's helping him them break their barriers too. So it's I think it's really uplifting, and it's
Well,
nice.
because
I'm really
remember, they are one. Really,
yeah.
they. It's not he or I. It's
I,
they,
yeah.
and they are one. They share one mind.
But we started to see some individual. That's what I said. Lately, the last few issues, they started to break. And so it wasn't, they were like super in line together, but now there's still a little more individual out of them, which is cool for character development.
And then Monchi and Oberlin tell him, "Hey, what happened? You were here for a while, but then you were gone. What happened?" And he says, "Oh, there's nothing. There are no nameless. They don't exist, right?" And then Monchi's like, "Then why do we still feel them?"
Yeah, because I think the other guys, Mochi and Oberlin, haven't really got over that fear thing. So they can still sense or have a little fear. And
Right.
technically, as you see right here, there's still one around.
No, no, no. But the thing is that the nameless is really there,
Yeah,
but like I said, he's just an apex predator, and
yeah,
because he's no longer afraid, he's kind of like blocked off the. He's not a victim, so the other ones are
yeah,
still sensing the fear. So I think that's the nameless's. That's how they are able to hunt. So they
yeah.
distract them with the fears, and then they attack. They pounce. So right here, he pounces on to Monchi, and he's absorbing his force. But after he feeds, he just leaves.
No,
And
and that's not what happens. This is what happens. Because he doesn't kill Mochi. I actually thought he died, but somehow someone with some type of force lightning saves the day.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. The
yeah.
strange, the mysterious hooded figure.
Who is real? I wasn't sure if it was real or not. Now we know he is real.
Yeah, he is real, and he was telling him how to defeat the name, so he knows. He's like, you know what? That's what Hatar wanted you to believe, but she's played her hand. Who is Hatar? HTAR? Because that was a question I like. What? I'm curious now. So this was really cool because it brings up Hatar. This is not someone we've heard of before, right, John? Hatar.
There's so many names in Star
Well,
Wars.
Hatar is somebody new. So Hatar is somebody who's in charge of the Nameless right now on this planet. And he said that's what Hatar wanted you to believe, but she's played her hand, and mine is stronger. So his hand is stronger because I think he has one of the. Didn't he keep one of those artifacts that gives him the
Maybe.
power?
Oh, we do see
Remember?
that. Oh my God! This takes us back to phase 2.
Right.
This was
That's when he got
yeah.
that artifact from Jeddah.
Oh,
Remember
I didn't get that. I
that
already thought
fallen?
this was a great issue. Yeah,
Yes,
he
it's
was.
so good. So
Oh
that's why I
my,
thought he got
yeah.
that because remember his husband said you can't be using that. It's going to take you down the dark path. But he's showing that he's able to use it because he's not a
Yes.
Jedi.
Well,
He's
maybe
no
we should
Jedi.
scroll down. We should kind of reveal who he is.
Oh right. So then
Yeah,
he's like, "Wait a minute, who are you, stranger?" And he pulls out his lightsaber, and then we get the reveal. Other than when I fried the force tucker, you mean, or stopped him from slicing and dicing that little printing on your shoulder, you saber twirlers never change, right? Because he's had
yeah.
centuries of experience with Jedi. He used to be the protector of the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
So it's none other than Tesseract, and or I like to call him Gay Sarek in honor of Gay Pride Month. My favorite gay character, one of them.
Was totally I did not think we were going to get many at all people from phase 2 because phase 2 was pre phase 1 and now we're phase 3, so it's like seeing a prequel character in the sequel trilogy, so it's really cool to
But he's
have
an
this.
alien, so he's long lived,
Yeah.
so he's able to live
Yeah,
centuries.
yeah. And as we know, he knows a lot about the force, but he's not a force user, but he probably has not the force user in
Remember?
the way Jedi is, so he probably
No, but
gets a
remember
tap. Yeah.
he was one of the guardians of the wills. Remember, he was a
Yeah.
guardian, and but then he left, and but then he came back. So that's story for another day. But yeah,
We actually reviewed those stories. So if you
we
guys
sure
want to go
did.
look through our catalog, because God, we have hundreds of them. We do review all those stories, but Tesseract and where he gets this force electricity gauntlet that he now has, which I didn't even connect to right now. I thought he was
Yeah,
using
see, you can
force
see it here.
electricity.
You can see it here. You
Yeah,
see he's got the gauntlet right there. It's kind
yeah.
of like Thanos when he had
Infinity Gauntlet.
the
Yeah,
glove with the Infinity Stones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool
So that was a cool
callback.
reveal. I like that a lot. Then it goes back to Kiev and Lorna, and of course Lorna now has the lightsaber. She has Kiev's other half of the lightsaber. They connect, and she's fighting him. And she's
She
doing
doesn't
pretty
stand
good,
a
but
chance. Yeah,
yeah, she doesn't. She
eventually,
doesn't.
yeah. She sliced him with a lightsaber and did nothing, so she doesn't really stand too much of a
Right.
chance.
And then
Yeah.
she dropped the lightsaber and she tries to grab it to attack him again, and swoop goes out of her reach straight into Kiev Trennis because it wants to go to its master. And she's like, "Oh my gosh!" Keith says, "That's enough." She's like, "Don't tell me, tell him, brah!" And he swipes down to kill her, and bam, she blocks it. She goes, "Look at the hilt skier. Remember who gave you that saber. Remember who you are. Remember me." And the hilts they're twins because they're parts of the same saber, which are her too. And now he's looking, and he's like, I think she's force connecting with him here through the mind.
Yeah.
Padawan. He's remembering her the way he last saw her with her shaved head. I like her better with "You were my Padawan." Here she is.
Yeah.
I like her better with a full head of hair. And then she hugs him because he remembers. He's like,
and then
Gunral. I hurt Gunral because he had attacked him. That's why he was injured.
yeah.
And it found him in the beginning. Didn't mean to, right? and he was under, she knows. And then he says, needed to protect, keep her safe. She's like, protect who? What are you talking about? And then we find this
Which I have no
surprise.
idea who that is. It's a little child. It
Nobody has
looks like.
any idea, but it's a
Yeah.
her.
You think that's the Hatra, the one he just
Is that
said?
Hatar?
Hatar,
Maybe.
maybe.
So she might be
But
dangerous.
yeah, I mean, we don't know anything yet. This is as far as it goes. I mean, I think the next issues have come out yet, but I haven't read it yet. Uh
Yeah, they have come out. They have come out,
yeah,
but no spoilers.
yeah. We don't do spoilers here.
So, but that was the end, to be continued. And then
um,
we get here's the next issue's cover, which is Young Taserek, which I loved it. And I know we read them because that's when we revealed, because we don't know yet that he was actually the lover of Vildar Mac, but we find out in this issue, and I was
oh, we
super
do. That's
happy.
our final. Okay,
Yes. Uh-huh.
yeah. I mean, there was.
So
I mean, you read into it before. You go back and look at our issues. That was Mike Collins. Like, look at these. How they're
from
staring
the
at each other.
very
Like, I'm like,
beginning,
I don't see anything. I was like, they're just two guys looking at me. Oh, I can tell. I was like, all right. And you
I
guessed
told
it.
you guys, my gaydar was on fleek. It was
You
on
can.
point. So I called it. Uh,
But so, what are your thoughts on this issue? What are your final thoughts overall?
oh man, like I said, my favorite of all the High Republic issues from all phases so far to date, hands
I mean,
down.
your next one you might like a lot too, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, in terms of, yes, that's true. I really loved all the issues are really good coming up, but this one, in terms of all the variety and the different stories, because they were all compelling, and then the pacing of it, I thought was excellent. The action is great. The artwork is phenomenal. I just love it.
this,
It's great.
yeah, I absolutely agree. This is I'm going to give this one a 5, and it's something I rarely do. 5
Me too.
holocrons.
5 Holocron. I
Uh,
agree.
I mean, it's almost like they did two parallel stories, the crescendo of both of them at the same time, at perfect pacing. Brought in an old friend, and even more old cool stuff with that Force Glove, which I didn't even catch the first time. It's just so cool. We find out how they're going to beat the Nameless. We get
Yeah.
Skier back. It's just, and then there's even this. At the same time, there's even a
New,
little thing at the end.
a new villain, a new mystery. Is she safe? Who is
Yeah,
Hatar? What is the
yeah.
connection? Yes,
Just an awesome issue. I was really happy reading this one.
me too. Me
Sometimes
too.
if I'm just reading one by itself, it's kind of like I need more information, more stuff. It's not a complete story. This one did a really good job. I definitely enjoyed this one.
Yeah, same here. I loved it. I thought it was great for all the things that John said, things that I've shared. So be sure you're following us on YouTube at Virtual Cantina Network, on Instagram at virtual.cantina network, on X, Twitter at Cantina Virtual, on Threads at virtual.cantina network, on Hive at Virtual Cantina, and on TikTok at Virtual Cantina. And please like and follow the VCN Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025 Facebook page. It's our mothership. Shout out to our partner pages, Star Wars Book Nerds and Star Wars Comic Book Club. Uh, we all work
Shout
together to bring you the best content.
Yes, shout out to Bryce. We miss you. Hopefully, you'll be back soon. Um, please comment, like, subscribe. Please interact with us. We're lonely, but we love talking with you guys. So please comment. We really appreciate it.
Let us know what you thought of this issue. It's really great. Tell us how much you liked
I
it, or if you didn't like it, what you didn't
I
like about it.
really I think read this issue and go back and read the other ones we were talking about. Tay Surrect in the beginning. It's going to be a really good story. So, thank you for watching.
May the force be with you.